Hi guys, so I've said on numerous occasions how politicians will stand up in the House of Commons, say one thing, and then do the opposite the very next day, or even the same day. Now, politicians will say, I care about the poor and the working class, I care about hungry children, I want to make sure that they're fed, I care about workers' rights, I care about the environment, I even care about fiscal responsibility. Now you're going to hear from Jacob Rees-Mogg, who some believe is an intellectual heavyweight. He has a huge following and I really don't understand the attraction. He may be the right honourable gentleman from the 1800s, but he's not a very clever individual, and I'm going to demonstrate this here.
And then we get carping about the support that is being given for people during the pandemic. £407 billion of taxpayers' money. I mean, the socialist thinks money grows on trees, but the truth is, eventually you run out of spending other people's money.
You run out of spending other people's money. Okay, he demonstrates here that he doesn't understand how economics works. You don't run out of money. Unless you're printing money and you run out of paper, but then you can just change the number that's on the currency. But governments don't run out of money. They are able to create money from nothing. That's the difference between a household and a government. Now, conservative politicians tend to try to play the game of, we should act like a household. A household needs to cut costs when they have a limited income. Governments are not like that. Governments don't have a limited amount of money that they take in and they have to spend. Governments can create money from nothing. Sometimes they decide to do it, sometimes they don't.
And that's something you have to remember. The furlough scheme is going on until September. The cut in VAT continues. The reduction in rates continues. The support is there. It is very considerable. But we believe on this side of the House in faintly living within your means. One day this money will have to be paid back. There is not a bottomless pit. There is
paid back to whom?
Not a magic money tree. The Honourable Lady then mentions the Building Safety Bill. But we've been getting on with it. Amazing amount has been done already. 95% of high-risk residential buildings have either been completed or work is underway. That's for the buildings over 59 feet high. £5.1 billion of taxpayers' money that, as I said, isn't growing on trees, has to be earned by people going out to work. £5.1 billion will be found to fund the cost of remediating unsafe cladding for leaseholders. But as the Prime Minister said yesterday, not all high-rise buildings are dangerous. It is not axiomatic that a high-rise building is dangerous. So it's important to bear that.
Okay, so what am I talking about here? If we look at Jacob Rees-Mogg's voting record, so he's saying here we have to pay this money back. We don't have a magic money tree. So you would imagine that he would vote for policies to make sure that people who have money pay their fair share. We have all this money that we've spent. We have to recover this money somehow. So you would believe that he would vote for policies that would do that. Well, no, he doesn't. And just because, some people will say, well, he voted against this in the past, but perhaps now he will. No, he will not. There's no motivation for Jacob Rees-Mogg to turn around and say, okay, now I'm going to become a socialist. You can see here, he voted a mixture of for and against higher taxes on banks, consistently voted against increasing the tax rate applied to incomes over £150,000. Doesn't it make more sense to take money from people who have lots of it than to take money from people who don't? Almost always voted against a banker's bonus tax. So he voted once for and 16 times against, and one time he was absent between 2011 and 2015. So the Labour Party put forward this idea, okay, we need to put a tax on bankers' bonuses. They made a lot of money during the crisis. A lot of them were not fired, but were actually given bonuses. Shouldn't we tax that? And Jacob Rees-Mogg is against that. That could have brought in some money. Now, do you think perhaps he will change his mind? I don't think so. Consistently voted for more restrictive regulation on trade union activity. Okay, he doesn't care about workers. Then it goes on about pensions. But I want to say also here, you can see here, consistently voted against an annual tax on the value of expensive homes known as the a mansion tax. He voted 4 times against that, no times 4. He consistently votes for protecting certain people, the rich, the millionaires, the billionaires even, the people who have the money. But he prefers to have the people who don't have money pay more in tax. You can see here, almost always voted for an increase in the rate of VAT. So this is something that affects the poor and the working class. Almost always voted for higher taxes on alcoholic drinks. Once again, higher taxes on alcoholic drinks are hitting the working class more than they're hitting. If you're a multimillionaire, an extra 5 or 10% even on a bottle of whiskey isn't going to make any difference to you. If you're poor and working class, this does affect you more, of course. And of course, almost always voted for reducing capital gains tax. Once again, protecting people who have money at the expense of people who don't. That is not fiscal responsibility. Jacob Rees-Mogg does not care about magic money trees, does not care about recovering costs of the pandemic. He cares about protecting people like Jacob Rees-Mogg. Let me know in the comments section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot. I want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons. You ensure that this channel continues to exist. I'm eternally grateful for all of your support. If you join Patreon, you will receive instant access to our Discord server, where we have both audio and video chats. You can chat with me and other patrons, where we discuss important and non-important issues. Becoming a patron per month costs about the same as a large coffee, so why not check it out?